live. Yeah, we going live. Hey, we going live. Yeah, we going live. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
It pains me to have to talk about this story. Because you know how much we love Dak.
Okay.
Pains
yeah,
me.
Dak, my dear.
So, according to TMZ, Easter Sunday, Dak Prescott had a party with more than 30 people in his home in Texas, violating the governor's orders to
stay at home.
To stay at home and to keep.
It was the stay-at-home order. That's the big deal.
Yeah, it was a stay-at-home order. So 29 of y'all violated that, but there shouldn't be gatherings of more than 10 people. And TMZ is reporting that he had 30 now. However you feel about TMZ, it's how you feel about him. But they're reporting that he had 30 people. I don't know if they're a
reliable source in that respect.
I don't think that they are either, but.
I like TMZ, but I just, sometimes what I do is I'll look at what they say, and then I'll go find like the actual sports sites or whatever.
Listen,
y'all just be trying to be the first ones to get the story out,
exactly.
And so sometimes you don't get the full story. And I think that in this case, because Stephen Jones came out first and said he had a conversation with Ezekiel because Ezekiel Elliott was at Dak's house.
Right.
He was a part of the people that was there.
Oh yeah, we saw
him. So he had a conversation with the two of them explaining the severity of them being who they are. You can't just do what you want to do. Yeah. People are watching you. And so he felt like, they get it after that. Dak then came out with a statement and said he was frustrated about the reaction, because there weren't more than 10 people at his house. He said there weren't more than 10 people.
And I believe him.
He said, because the police were called.
Right.
So we already know. Listen, people, we don't have to sugarcoat things on here. That's a black man. I don't care if he's Dak Prescott or not.
It was at least two black men.
Happily, they would have been ready to oblige to make a mockery and a scene.
Yeah.
If he had been violating for real.
Right. So
we know it was probably they could not. What were the words they said? We could not verify that there were more than 10 people in attendance at this Easter gathering. So he didn't do anything outside of the guidelines.
Right.
But to Stephen Jones's point, you're in the eye. You got to be worried about the optics. Public eye.
And I'm sure go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I'm sure that he probably didn't realize that someone he had at this place was going to videotape and take pictures of the people that were there. But
that's the part.
You got to be worried about the optics.
Listen, and that's why. So because, we work with athletes, and specifically when it comes to professional athletes, it is so tough to build rapport with them because they are always having to be suspicious of people because of this very thing. Like, I invited 10 people to my house, and one of those 10, this feels like Jesus with Judas. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, one of y'all is something's foul. When something is foul with one of y'all. So, and just, you would think if you pick 10 people, you had to be very careful about who those 10 people were. And so for somebody to, put it out there, like, and they could have been completely innocent on their part. I don't want to make it seem like somebody was like, ooh, let me go ahead. You know what I mean? It could have been complete. They were just taking pictures of the fellowship that was going on. And then it got captured, because when it gets out on the internet, anybody's fair game. You know what I mean? So, to that, I wanted to put that out there and say that I feel like if it was really 10 people, less than 10 people there, then he stayed within the guidelines that were set.
Right.
So I can't fuss at him about that. What I'm going to fuss about is the fact that you would do it anyway. I don't care how many people.
Yeah.
Because right now we see social distancing is starting to make a small dent to flatten the curve.
Right.
And we need to keep on that track in order to, so let's not, like, you being a public figure, you being somebody people look up to, you saying, I'm just going to ignore this and I'm going to have these people to my house, at my house anyway, kind of sets a precedence. We already fighting because it's the younger folk who are not paying attention.
Who ain't trying to social distance.
They don't care. Like, I mean, I know people who having parties still, and you know what I mean, and still gathering up the dude. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people are not. So it's going to be up to people who have that influence and the platform that Dak and Ezekiel have to help to set the tone, to say, listen, I'm sorry,
your behind
y'all.
in the house.
Sit down. All y'all go sit down. And I can't tell you to sit down when I'm inviting my homies over to my house.
And I ain't sitting down.
Even on Easter. So I can't even, so for me, that is the issue with this whole thing. And let's be clear. The Joneses are looking for any reason. To
not pay you.
To not pay you.
That's my only issue with it. Like, that is my only issue with it.
You just put yourself in a really bad situation with negotiations.
Right.
When they got to try to clean up behind you for something. So now they got you kind of like on the ropes.
I could see Jerry and Stephen Jones being like, oh, so you were trying to get COVID. Let's take $5-6 million off for that per year.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. For real. Mm-hmm. So it's just crazy. So people, please, this is just an opportunity for us. We don't really talk about it, but please, like, it is so terribly important that you don't put yourself in situations. People can be atypical in their symptoms. Mm-hmm. They might not feel anything, and then you get it, and you have something totally different happen.
Right.
Your situation, and this thing is not a respecter of age, race, socioeconomic status. It does not care.
It doesn't care. So
I need y'all to stop acting like, it's not real, because it is.
Yeah.
So Dak, shame on you for that. For
the optics.
Yes, shame on you for that part, because too many people are watching you, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras on me.